Alright, well, moving forward with the van project, I've got a new shaft. It's bigger, it's girthier, it's blacker. Let's see if I still know how to read the tape measure. Get this thing fit up in here. I want to chase my threads because these have not had anything in them for a while. Set this on the ground so it doesn't fall with an earth-shattering kaboom. Where's the kaboom? The earth-shattering kaboom. Alright, that's better. Well, a special thanks to the guys at Driveline 1 who once again came through for us on a custom built shaft. This one's a 4150 front yoke, which is beefy. That's going to hook to our 4070 transfer case. The rear one's a 3070, sorry, a 3150 joint and a 3.5 inch tube. All brand new, made right here in Columbus, Ohio. And I just screwed that up. That one fits nice. Oh goodness. Gonna make a mess of it, Rich. Straps from each yoke are the same, which is nice. Careful on how I do that. Get this thing bolted in here and we'll move on to the next thing. Alright. Thank you, Driveline 1. You guys always come through for us. I have my rear speed sensor hooked in. The transfer case adds a different output speed sensor in a different location than the factory output speed sensor. So I think I'm done under the vehicle. I have to put a power to the back of my alternator. Let's do that. Once that's done, I can hook the battery up, check to make sure my starter works, and then I can start programming my ACES Killshot 2 and my ACES Quick Draw transmission controller. So I think that's the next steps. Make sure my fuel pump works. This gas tank has like a half a gallon of fuel in it, so I'm gonna have to go get some fuel. Probably bring that in with me tomorrow. I've been plugging away at this thing for the last week, trying to get things done, and yesterday things went sideways on me. I was standing right here. The door opened to the truck, and it was on the ground. I was test fitting some tires for fitment. I hit the key just to, I don't know why I hit the key. Why did I hit the key? Anyway, it was magically in reverse, not in park. This does have a park neutral safety switch, so it will only start in park. So the shifter was in park, and I know I had park because I had to disengage the transfer case to put the drive shaft in and then engage it back into two-wheel drive. And then, but anyway, I hit the key to check something. Oh, I was checking, I wanted to use the power steering to rotate the tire to check fender well clearance, which it was too tight. I can't use those tires up front, at least not right now. And anyway, when I started the engine, it just decided to leave the building. Luckily, my steel garage door that was built in the 70s played catcher's mitt, kind of like the nets at the end of the tracks when you run into the ditch. But it managed to fold the door all the way around. I was able to knock the door back in enough that it'll work. It's not too horrible damage. It pinned me right here against the rack, so luckily the garage door was closed and Luckily it wasn't in drive, because it would have been, that would have been bad. That would have been probably 2 or 3 different projects destroyed. But anyway, I'm like, man, I was racking my head around it. I'm like, how did I have park and then I didn't have park? Well, it appears that my park pawl quit. You can see this guy right here is what engages your park pawl. And you can see that the park is not engaged. And you can see that it's not disengaging the shuttle pin, so the end of this rod is probably broken off. So I'm gonna pull that park rod out, see if I can repair it. I should be able to just weld a nub on the end, hopefully, and that'll get us back in business. I guess good thing that happened here. That happening out anywhere between here and Florida could have been the kind of news story you don't want to hear about. Put it in park, leave it running, go to get some snacks at a gas station, and the thing backs into a gas pump. Okay, we're down a hill. We're into oncoming traffic, unmanned. That's scary stuff right there. Weird failures. Oh, it's different. That must have been the pop I heard. Huh. That's weird. Where'd the other piece go? Park pawl broke. Oh, what a pain in the rumpski. I'd do something different. That's not gonna work. So I ended up cheating, and part of the valve body separator plate sticks out over the pin that holds the shift rod or the shift shaft in place. Cheated and bent it out of the way because pulling the valve body inside these is kind of a horrible job. It can be done, but it's not fun. I need to go in more with that guy, making sure I'm engaged. So that plate makes sure if the nail comes out, it doesn't fall all the way out. So it's security assurance. And we have park again. It's an amazing thing. Let's put all this mess back together. Boo. Door opens easier now though, and farther. Look at that, it's too far. I gotta put a master cylinder on this thing. Rear brakes aren't working at all. Well, I'm trying to give this thing some reliable go. I figured I should give it some reliable whoa as well. New rear brake hose. Put the new master cylinder on it. Bleed the brakes out. Take it for a test drive. Make sure my programming's okay on the transmission. My park pawl works now, that it's in one piece instead of three. Which I did find the other piece. It fell out of the transmission when I had the pan off. I didn't see it. That is a failure I have never seen before. Guess there's a first time for everything. I'm just glad it didn't kill me. Because that incident could have been a lot worse than just wrinkling the door.